Which 2025 NX Lexus is going to be better? We have the 250 Premium versus the F Sport handling package. The difference? 72 horsepower, 133 pound-feet of torque, standard all-wheel drive comes onto the F Sport handling package. You can't even get a luxury. You can only get a premium or a base here. But when you're thinking about the NX, is it about performance? I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides. We're gonna go over some pros and cons between the two, compare this lightly to the competition to see which one is better, starting with the 250 Premium. We're gonna have bi-LED headlights, daytime runnings with the L design that integrates into the enlarged grille. Now you can option a triple beam LED headlight, but you have to go into the luxury in order to do so. Standard front parking sensors, and the nice thing about the NX is you have a plug-in hybrid, and you have the turbocharged, which we're showcasing. So it basically takes care of everybody, but it also gives you one of the best in class for MPGs. With the NX, you're getting a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder producing 203 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now that's good for 26 MPGs for the city, 33 MPGs for the highway. As for the 350 F Sport handling package all-wheel drive, that's going to change the engine to the 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. All NX will have a 4-cylinder, and this is the only way that you can get the turbocharge. That's producing 275 horsepower and 317 pound-feet of torque paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission, and achieving 21 MPGs for the city, 26 MPGs for the highway, reaching 60 at 6.6 seconds, top speed at 127 miles per hour, whereas all of the other 4-cylinder NX will be at 124 mile per hour top speed. The 250, you're getting a 0 to 60 at 8.2 seconds, so it's quicker, more styling elements with the upgraded 20-inch wheels, F Sport badging, gloss black on the side view mirror, and they smoke out the chrome on all the window trims and giving us gloss black for the roof rails. Towing on all NX is at 2,000 pounds. Now going against competition, BMW, Mini, even Volvo, you're going to have a little bit more performance, and you have different options as well to make it a lot more quicker, but they are going to be a more sporty drive. Now when you go into the F Sport handling package, that will change out the suspension that's standard for a McPherson strut front suspension and a double wishbone rear suspension to an F Sport tuned suspension. Now the 250 has the 18-inch wheel standard. Matte black will surround the fenders and the lower trim, where you already notice on the F Sport the fenders are going to be the same color as the body. The chrome is going to come into play for the NX when you're not doing the F Sport handling package. But looking at the NX opposed to competition, I like the fact that we have choices in which you can unlock the performance, changing the suspension, getting quicker speeds, and you still have basically the same capabilities. There is some style elements, but it's not a huge difference. Both will come with standard L design tail lights that wrap around nearly the whole rear with the Lexus print. The difference is the lower trim. We'll get the glossy black on the 250 where the exhaust should be exposed, opposed to the 350 where you're going to have the satin silver. And here I feel that is a con, because when you're going into the F Sport handling package, I think glossy black or the smoke chrome is really the way to go. I mean, let me know your thoughts in the comments. As for competition, you're going to spend more money. And money isn't the main difference between the vehicles, meaning going to BMW, Mini, Volvo. There's a lot in this segment, even Acura or Infiniti. When you're going Lexus, you're getting a butter smooth drive. You're getting one of the best in class for MPGs. And you could tick the box for a plug-in hybrid, where Infiniti, they don't even have a hybrid variant. The same thing with Acura. But because these are not the hybrid or the plug-in variant, is it better than the competition for what you're getting as amenities, standalone packages that you can add? This is going to tick the box and give you the premium materials that are in the interior with the sporty styling on the exterior. Going back to the main question, which is better? I would tick the box to the F Sport handling package because I like more performance. But if I'm looking for better MPGs, I just go to the 250 Premium.
Standard power liftgate going into 22.7 cubic feet of storage. It's really wet and dirty, so I'm not going to throw out all the interior guts here, so you're going to have to see that. Unfortunately, you do have a cargo net here with the 12-volt charger, bag holders here on the side, LED interior lights. This folds up into a 2-part, so that way it makes it easier for storing. And underneath the floor, you have 3 parts of storage. But unfortunately, there's no levers to fold down the seats at a 40-60 split to max cargo to 46.9 cubic feet. You have to go into the back, fold them down, and it will lay more or less flat to maximize the cargo capacity to the NX. The key fob to the NX. This is the Premium, so it's going to have more features than the base. 10-way power seat adjustment for the driver, 8-way power seat adjustment for the passenger, standard heated front seats. The ventilated, because we have the Premium, that also adds the memory seats and that pano moonroof, or the moonroof. 10-way power seat adjustment, new look upholstery, heated and ventilated seat. Going into a kind of text-driven, futuristic style. I kind of like the way it bulges out. This is a 9.8 inch. Let's fire it up. And here we can option the 14-inch screen. Wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming, Bluetooth audio. You can also option a 360-degree reverse camera, which you cannot do so on the base trim. Otherwise, standard reverse camera with trajectory that expands out, and you can change the camera layout with an option for a digital rear view mirror. Also get standalone features like a wireless charging pad. You can get this, $25 for your key. I don't know if I would do it. Dual climate control settings. It's kind of like a touchpad that's more or less integrated into the 9.8 inch screen, but you still have physical buttons and knobs. So I do like that they still give you that functionality. And it's a driver focused setup, but it kind of cuts off the driver a little bit because it's trying to be more sporty. So you have 3 different driving modes. You have your Eco, Sport, and normal driving mode. Leather wrap steering wheel is standard. If you want it heated, that's a option. Multi-function paddle shifts. Steering wheel, it's F Sport. Heated, multi-function with adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, and the paddle shifts. These buttons are the heads-up display, which you can change for the adaptive cruise control. You can also toggle through here, and the Lexus signature shifters with the gloss black elements that's going to highlight, and you get the driver mode select right here. And the gauge cluster can go through an array of different content for the driver. Going back to a total of 6 USB ports that's found throughout. That is going to be new because they've added 2 more. You have a little storage tray here. You could slide that to have the 2 more USB-C ports with a 12-volt charger, and it's a pretty deep storage pocket. So I like how they utilize space even though we don't have a pass-through. They do a good job cleaning that up. Glossy black around everything, which I don't know what you feel about it, but long-term, it's a little bit of a headache. This opens up as a his and her. So one side for the passenger or driver or vice versa, and it's soft to touch. And the reason why I point out that it's a driver-focused setup is because look at the passenger side. You actually have more access to the charging ports than you do as a driver. Leg space is more than enough for both of the front occupants, and the same thing for headroom. So smaller SUV, you could still tick the box and have that sporty design in the interior. Door panel and dash. I do like the pattern that goes into the dashboard. I'm just not a huge fan of all the gloss black. They do a good job with premium materials where it needs to be. One touch up and down for the windows, and a long storage pocket with the beverage holder carved out, and a sleeve of storage for the driver. For the back seat, this is the opening that you have to fit 2 more with the cup holders and armrest down, 2 more USB-C ports with a 12-volt. Open that one up so you can see it. Air vents in the center, storage behind both of the front seats. The door is going to have the same materials in the back, so thank you for doing that, Lexus. But the storage gets a little bit tight here. You could maybe fit a smaller cell phone, but if you have a cover, I don't think so. Sitting behind me, plenty of leg space and headroom. That's what I like about these smaller SUVs. I could still fit. Sliding into the center, leg space, you're going to share some, but it's a pretty wide vehicle for the most part. But leg and shoulder space isn't that bad. As for headroom, no compromise. So I actually appreciate what Lexus is doing here, because typically with these smaller SUVs, you'll see like a hump here where it's carved out. Look at that, they carve it out for everybody in the back.
The NX 250, 72 horsepower less, 133 pound-feet of torque less. Let's see what we get. It can be fun changing gears. I'm not using the paddle shifts. That was the actual vehicle just changing gears. It's an 8-speed automatic. You get it 8.2 seconds 0 to 60, opposed to the 350 F-Sport handling package that gets it in the 6-second margin. And we have 203 horsepower here with 184 pound-feet of torque. So for motivation purposes, this is really for MPGs with the styling elements, and you're not getting the F-Sport design on the exterior, but even in the interior, you are encased with premium features. Now, a con right off the bat is they don't really mask some of those harder materials. You can still see them all over the cabin, and I kind of wish even when you go into the 350 F-Sport handling package, they would have kind of cleaned that up a little bit. Plus, we don't even have a 10-inch screen. I mean, I get it, it fits. It's not over the top, but at least integrate it into the dashboard and maybe clean up some of this gloss black materials. But as for an everyday drive, butter smooth. McPherson strut front suspension, a double wishbone, independent rear suspension, and the front suspension is independent as well. Sound deadening, it isn't that bad. I think Lexus does a good job cleaning that up, especially with 18-inch wheels. Lexus kind of gives you a little bit more plush to the seat, so the cushion is good, but my knees are sitting up in the air, which is definitely a con to me. As for competition, that's why we have the 350 F Sport. Let's see the difference in the drive. So is 275 horsepower a major difference? It is. And 317 pound-feet of torque. I know it may not look like it's a huge difference, but 6.6 seconds 0 to 60 is quite fast for the size of this vehicle. The seats, I like that you have the F-Sport design that comes into play because it feels a little bit better, for me at least, the way the bolstering is. They don't do anything, unfortunately, for leg room. And it's not just better in performance, you're also changing the suspension. This is F-Tune. We have upgraded wheels and the sound deadening is basically the same. So I think Lexus did a great job with that. So if that is something that you're thinking that may alter you from going from a 250 to a 350, it shouldn't be. Now, obviously MPGs is going to be a little bit different, but not really night and day. I mean, you're still getting 21 over 28. So when you put that in perspective, you're literally 5 MPGs different. The big problem that I have, whether you option the 250 or the 350, is you still have to option basically the same features. You're not gonna get the upgraded sound system. You can get heads-up display, but these are options. 360-degree reverse camera, heated ventilated front seats. When I'm going from the 250 to a 350, some of these features I would like to see integrated in. I understand I'm getting all-wheel drive, which the 250 we're showcasing doesn't have that, but because the pricing is only around $6,000 difference, and if you tack on the all-wheel drive, you're gonna spend 15 to 2 grand more on the 250. It just doesn't make sense to go 250 when you're already so close to the 350 all-wheel drive F-Sport handling package, because you are getting a more powerful engine. Yeah, you're gonna be losing around 5 MPGs for the city or highway, but that's not a huge difference. And realistically speaking, at the 250 variant, you're not looking at a hybrid or a PHEV. So optimal MPGs, unless you're really wanting to take an extra near 2 seconds to a 0 to 60 or stoplight to stoplight, I would say go to the 350 F-Sport handling package all-wheel drive, because you're gonna have a little bit more fun, it's a little bit more quicker, and when you're comparing it against competition like BMW and Mini, it actually fits into this segment, and it's a little bit quicker than Infiniti. It's not gonna be faster than Acura, and that's gonna be a little bit more of a fun drive, but here's gonna be more of a soft butter drive, whether you go 250 or 350, but let me know which way you would go in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the membership, live streams, website, TikTok, and Instagram. Leave a comment and a like, and I'd like to thank Lexus of Wesley Chapel for giving us the comparison of these two 2025 Lexus, the NX 250 Premium versus the NX 350 all-wheel drive F-Sport handling package for our car review.